Hi, beautiful people. Hope you guys are doing well. Tuesday, December 10th was the release of Gypsy Rose's memoir, My Time to Stand. She put out a post, being very excited, announcing that her book is available for purchase.
Good morning, everyone. Gypsy Rose Blanchard here. So my book, My Time to Stand, is officially available wherever books are sold. I'm super excited about this, and you can find links in my bio.
She then went on to do an interview with her local news.
Welcome back. You've undoubtedly heard her name and know a little bit about her story, a victim of child abuse at the hands of her mother and later convicted of killing her. Today, Gypsy Rose Blanchard's memoir is hitting store shelves. So for you to get your hands on that, you can do that today. And this morning, she's joining us right here in our studio to tell us a little bit about it. First off, thanks for joining us this morning. We're happy to have you.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you in. You know, your story is a controversial one that a lot of people think, at least, that they know the story and your life story. A lot of people could have got out of prison and just stayed in the shadows. You chose to be very vocal on social media with this book. Why a book? Why share your story?
Well, the book was something that I always wanted to happen, and it was something that even my mother's side of the family definitely encouraged and approved of. I know they weren't very supportive of a lot of the documentaries and everything, but they always felt support for me and support for me sharing my story in a book. So I think that that was important to honor their wishes, my wishes, share my voice in a proper way.
That's pretty empowering to have, you know, the her side of the family that encourage you to have your voice in a book. I guess because you could make sure the words are that of your own.
Exactly.
And I know the title is one that has, you know, some meaning for you as well. And, you know, let's talk a little bit about that. My Time to Stand. What does that mean for you?
I really wanted the word stand in the title. I was very strong on that because standing up for yourself, standing on your own 2 feet, all of that has multiple meanings. So like independence, freedom, physically standing. So it's more than just physically standing. It's emotional and it's empowering. So I really wanted the word stand to be in the title.
And with that, you know, obviously people have the opportunity to get the book today. It hits their shelves. It's very exciting. And, you know, getting into that, I know you talked a little bit about in learning to stand for yourself, you made some mistakes. One of those that you severely regret. Do you go into that in the book when that decision was made when you were trying to stand for yourself?
I do. It's not a big portion in the book because I really just didn't want to focus or over-dramatize that. So I just kind of wanted to tell the story, the events that unfolded, and kind of get into my mindset so readers can understand where I was at mentally and emotionally at that point to come to that decision.
Do you think the book gave you a chance to give a side of your story that maybe people don't know?
Absolutely. The thing I love about the book is it doesn't tell just my story. It also goes into a little bit more of my mom's story and how she got to be how she was.
In the book, do you share at all your feelings now when you are able to look back at this point in your life about how you feel maybe about her decision making? You know, what sort of thoughts do you put in the book that people might be interested to learn?
I absolutely do. I dive deep and get very vulnerable to the point that you get to see on page my emotions ranging from rage to acceptance to vulnerability. Like, you get a range of my emotions when it comes to my mother and my past.
And then, you know, when we're talking about this too, obviously the book, that is a big deal, but then you have some other big news in your life. Just want to say congratulations on your pregnancy. Due in January.
Due in January,
so right around the corner.
I know, I'm getting there.
How are you feeling about that?
I'm excited. I'm really happy. This is a really special time for us, and so we're enjoying nesting and we're getting ready, so we're happy about it.
And so you did share, it's a girl.
It's a girl,
you shared her name?
Yes, it's going to be Aurora Raina Euchre.
Beautiful. You know, you're talking about this book and how vulnerable you get and stepping into this, well, very punny, but new chapter of your life.
Right.
When you're looking back now, being a mother, and that can change us in so many ways, how does it feel that you don't have your own mother and then just the life that you've led? How do you feel about becoming a new mom at this stage?
I'm excited about becoming a new mother. I know that there is a lot of eyes on me that are kind of like, how are you going to be different than your mom?
Right.
And I'm already making vastly different choices than my mother made, even in my pregnancy. So I'm going into it confident. I have a great support system with me, so it's not like I'm alone. I have a wonderful stepmom. Her name is Christy, and she is definitely my guiding light to motherhood.
Wow, that's beautiful. I'm glad. You should be confident. I think every mom stepping into that stage, I was really nervous to myself, but you know, all you can can try to do is be the best version of yourself for your little one. And it seems like with this book and doing a lot of, deep diving and being vulnerable, it's not easy, but I think it's setting a great example.
Thank you.
And, just moving forward, there is an opportunity with this book signing today for people to get out and meet you. I know you wanted to talk a bit about that.
Yes, so I will be at a meet and greet.
Let me say this. No one does know Gypsy's life story. And since only her and her mum knew the real story and what exactly happened, Gypsy nor anyone that supports Gypsy can expect people to just take her word and believe what she says, especially since her stories change each and every time she tells it. And obviously, Dee Dee is not around to speak for herself. Is Gypsy Rose really using her own local TV news station to clap back at what has been said about her on social media? And I'm talking about people have been saying that the Petrie family should sue Gypsy Rose. And here she is on a local news saying that her mother's side of the family, the Petries, support her and encouraged her to write this book. Gypsy, allegedly Bobby Petrie, is the only one from your mother's side of the family that actually supports you. So does he represent the entire Petrie family? When couldn't Gypsy stand for herself? Wasn't it only in public when she was grifting and in on the con with her mum? Did anyone else catch when she had the Freudian slip? When she said she didn't want to over-traumatize. And then she caught herself and said over-dramatize. I have not read or listened to her book, and I will not be putting money in the pocket of Gypsy Rose, who is a convicted murderer, who is now profiting off the murder of her mum that she orchestrated. Hell no. But very interesting to know if she did over-traumatize anything in her book. I'm guessing she absolutely did. How many different stories is Gypsy going to tell, and who is she to tell her mum's story? She took that away from her mum. She is absolutely out of pocket. She has a damn nerve. She is no doubt diabolical. She truly feels that she is invincible. Netflix should actually contact her and they should do another Making a Murderer, because this is absolutely now ridiculous. And rest in peace to Dee Dee Blanchard. Finally, Gypsy says she is excited about becoming a new mum. How is she going to handle when the tension is off of her and all the attention goes to the baby? And she states that she has such a wonderful stepmom, Christy. Christy? The same one that is challenging people, Gypsy, to tell you to your face that you are a disgusting and awful human being. She is truly an amazing mum then. Should we give her a round of applause? I think not. She is just as trashy as you are. Well, it looks as though sales may not be going as good as Gypsy thought it would be. This morning, she put this message out.
Hey everybody. So this is day 2 after my memoir, My Time to Stand, has been released to bookstores and wherever books are sold. I am so proud to be holding this book right now. And whoever has read it already, I hope that you receive the message. This is not a true crime book. This is a book about survival and hardship and overcoming massive amounts of trauma. To say that this book is just a book is not, it's very, very much misrepresented. This is not a book. This is my entire life in pages. When I started working on this book with Melissa Moore and Michelle Matrosciani, 2 amazing women, amazing writers, I had such a wonderful time working with them, brainstorming, And it's really a talent to be able to bring the emotions of what a trauma survivor has to go through and overcome and push past into words. That is incredibly difficult, because no one can know the emotions felt by a victim unless you are in that situation or have been there. And so for us to brainstorm together and kind of figure out, how do we want to put this all together? How do we want to framework this? Is amazing. And I think we did an amazing job. The things that I talk about in this book are things that I don't get asked in interviews. I don't get asked how scared I was in certain situations. I don't get asked why didn't I just run away? I don't get asked that stuff. And I think even if I told them why, they wouldn't really understand. So it's extremely important to put into words for readers when they are reading my story and when my story is told. The reasons, the emotions, the restrictions put on me and put on victims. So I think that this book is ultimately the thing that I needed to have happened in my life, because I held on to that grief and that pain for so long. And this is a healing book. This is about letting go of my past and finally pushing towards my future. And I hope that if anyone is in my shoes or the shoes that I was in, if they are experiencing trauma, if they are experiencing abuse, that this book will show that there is hope, there is life beyond abuse. I'm not going to say that how I gained my freedom was right, because it wasn't. And I talk about that in the book. You know, I absolutely have a life of regrets. I'm not perfect. I've made really bad choices in my life, but that's what makes me human. And I think that we all have a sense of feeling like maybe we're not worthy of being loved. Maybe we're not worthy of a better life beyond abuse. And that's simply not true. So I really, really, really just hope that the message of this book is conveyed to everyone in the best way possible. And I'm getting all choked up. And I just really hope that when you read this, if you are a victim of abuse, you feel like you are not alone. And you are loved. So, to everyone out there that could relate to feeling not worthy, this book is for you.
All I'm going to say in regard to Gypsy Rose and this new book that she has put out, Gypsy can go fuck herself. I am personally offended that she would play on trauma survivors' emotions. As a survivor myself of major childhood trauma, it makes me sick to think that she would go this far. Listening to what people say is in this book angers me. And with following this case closely, and it seems as though she's fabricating stories along the way and can't seem to keep up with her own lies as well, is absolutely fucked up. And what I'm about to say is not me being mean, it's an observation. When Gypsy is being deceitful, Her wandering eye seems to wander more than usual, and it's noticeable in this clip. And like Gypsy said herself when she was in prison,
She taught me how to be a good liar, a very good liar without any conscience.
and Gypsy continues to lie. In ending this, I want to show you the message Gypsy left on Amazon when you purchase her book. She says, "My time to stand is about reclaiming my footing so others can be inspired to walk a life of purpose and meaning and build a future sturdy enough so others can stand for something too." Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Also, check this out. While some of my childhood memories have faded, these particular events remain vivid. Life isn't black and white. It's not victim or perpetrator. My mum was both. I was both. My mother claimed I was physically broken. The world said I was a murderer. This is the story you don't know yet. Gypsy Rose Blanchard, you pled to second-degree murder. You were convicted of second-degree murder. You orchestrated the murder of your mother. You are a convicted murderer. When you stood before the parole board, you had to take responsibility. You're claiming the world sees you as a murderer. And it seems as though you do not identify as a murderer. The same way you said on the Nick Vile podcast, you don't identify as a murderer. Here we go again. You, Gypsy, in my opinion, had no right to do what you did to your mom. She did not deserve to die the way she died. You made it happen. You took away her side of the story and expect people to believe your many lies and feel bad for you? Did you feel bad for your mom when she was being harmed? Did you have grace for your mom when she was being harmed? It was not your place to take matters into your own hands. And in the interim, fuck up Nicholas Golder-John's life because you allegedly didn't have the balls to do what you felt needed to be done. But here you are, waiting to get off parole to maybe show that you do have balls. And I wish you do, because you clearly cannot control yourself or help yourself. And then, who is going to be manipulated to take the heat for you this time? Gypsy Rose Blanchard. That's all I have for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Drop your comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.